Hello, welcome to Yoga Flow. So today's class is all about back bending. Those of you that are into chakras, this is back bending and shoulders are all part of the fourth chakra, the heart opener poses. So really excited to bring this in. We'll be doing a lot of different things and we'll make sure to warm up the spine properly to make that happen. I recommend a couple blocks here. They may help you with stability during the prepping that we'll do. And in addition, that you might need support, a block for support for puppy pose. And some people need that extra height for camel pose, which is going to be our peak pose today. The strap we will definitely use at the end, and some people may want to bind with it if you can't take the hands together and do binds. So have that in hand, handy, not in hand, but handy, and we will get started. So find a comfortable seat, whatever that would look like for you. Another thing I should say, if you're practicing on a hard floor, camel is done on the knees. You might want a blanket or something like that for knee cushion. All right, and so we're finding just a little bit of length from crown to tail, thinking about ears, shoulders, and hips. Maybe the belly button is in just a little bit, or think about that, drawing up from pubic bone to behind the navel. Slight tuck in the chin. Good. Inhale and expand that rib cage. And exhale, just let everything go here. Good. Now, after that, notice if there's anywhere you could soften a little bit more. And we'll go again. Big inhale and expand. Exhale, letting it all go. One more time. Big inhale and expand. Exhale, letting it all go. Good. Fingertips to the side, palms turning up. Inhale, reach, 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 and lengthen, touching palms together. Exhale, hands on heart center. Connecting with an intention today. What would you like to give or receive? So back bending, heart chakra work, fourth chakra work, all about heart openers. So maybe your intention could be, what would you like to open your heart a little bit more to today? And once you have that set, we'll inhale, take it up, turning palms away, grow taller from crown to tail. Good. So just to prepare, let's take those arms forward, and we're going to find rotation here. So just a little bit differently today. Good. And then palms are going to come towards the ceiling, taking hands to the shoulders and move forward and back. Keep the rib cage in, so we don't want to flop around like a fish. Good. And then if you want to, you can take that into some circles. So to be able to do some of these back bends, we also need to prepare the shoulders a little bit here, and we'll get deeper into that as we go along. Good. Now from here, elbows out to the side, arms out to the side, turning palms away from you, maybe taking your hands behind you, resting right above the hips. Some of you might take the hands and clasp them together. You might press down a little bit. You might roll the shoulders back and get that little bit of a lift. So to see what I'm doing from a different angle. Good. So find what's appropriate for your body. You can also hold on to that strap and get that little bit of lift if it hurts your wrist to engage. And then when you're ready, good, we'll just release, take the hands forward, clasp, press away, and round. Good. Inhale, exhale, just take those arms up overhead. Release the hands. Inhale, exhale, take that over to, I'm going to my left side first. Reach, reach, reach. And then with a gentle movement of the breath, just go right into the other side. Reach, reach, reach. And we'll do that again. Sits bones stay grounded, taking it over. You can be gentle. You can side bend deeper. You can choose to open up here or C curve roll. You choose what works best for you. Breathe and expand wherever you're going here. And then inhale and lengthen. Exhale, coming all the way back up. And we'll reach. And we'll take it over. And you choose staying here. You can side bend deeper. You can open to the ceiling or a C curve roll. Find what works best for you on this side in this moment. That might be different than what you did yesterday or last week. And inhale and lengthen. And we'll come up. Use those obliques. Reach to the ceiling. Gentle rotation to the left. Arms come down. Roll the shoulders back. Look a little bit more behind you. Good. And then we'll come up. Move through center with the breath. Taking it over. Rolling the shoulders back. Looking a little bit more behind you. Good. And we'll come up and come back heart center. So instead of doing a more traditional cat-cow today, we're going to do one a little bit more Kundalini style with long arms. So to better demonstrate what that looks like, I'm just going to turn sideways here. Good. And I'm just going to place my hands at the knees. So we're not kind of pulling on the knees with a death grip, but you're getting a little bit of leverage. Arms stay long the entire time. So I'm going to zip up. So I'm in my tall spine. So for cow, I'm going to shine my heart forward. My arms are long. Good. And then on my cat, arms stay long as I round. And cow, and good. Now you can also do a spinal roll with this one too. Arms will still stay long, but you're just going in a circle. Good. And then if you chose spinal roll, take that opposite direction. Now, if you think that, hands on the knees is just not a good idea for you, you think it's silly, that's fine. You don't have to hold it there. Just do a little dance. It's no worries. And then when you're ready, just kind of shake that out. If it's safe for you to keep your legs crossed as you roll forward, you can go into it from there. If not, find your way to all fours and the best way for you. And I'm just going to move my blanket to the side here for a moment. Good. Now from here, continuing to prep the spine, we're going to go into a thread the needle. So remember, for thread the needle, hips stay over the knees. And we'll do this dynamically a couple times before we come into the final one. So belly button is in. I'm going to take my right arm out to the side. Good. And we're just going to scoop and we'll open and we'll scoop and open and we'll scoop. We'll take that all the way down. Good. Hips stay over the knees as best as you can. Think about the temple more, not so much the ear coming to the floor. You want a long neck, an extension of the spine. So we don't want to put that crank in the neck, pressing the ear into the floor. Another way to think about it, you're taking your top of the head down. Maybe you've got a piece of paper under there that you don't want to crinkle or make a sound. And then from here, pressing through the left arm, we'll come back up. Good. And just do a little wiggle. Couple little gentle cat-cows here. We're going to take that all to the other side. So from here, same thing as before. We'll do this dynamic movement. We'll open to the left and we'll scoop. And we'll open and we'll scoop and we'll open. We'll take that all the way through, finding thread the needle on this side. Good. So head and neck are an extension of the spine. There's no break in that alignment. Hips are over the knees. Some people practice this one with an arm forward. I don't like that because that encourages the break in that neck alignment. And that's really only for super strong and advanced people in their practice. Most people, it's not a good idea. And then from here, pressing through, coming back up. Good. Again, just a little bit of maybe of a wiggle, little cat-cow here. Good. Let's take this into child's pose first. So knees can be together as wide as the mat or somewhere in between. If you need to have your hands back by your ankles because your shoulders are cranky today, you can. I'm going to encourage you to take them forward here to prep for the next one. The forehead can come to the floor or to the ground. I'm zipping up from pubic bone to behind the navel. I'm breathing and expanding as I breathe. And because my arms are long, I'm just going to move my fingertips just a little bit more forward. Good. The breath with the Ujjayi pranayama, the sound, you can bring that in at any point. You do not need to keep it engaged the entire time. By that, I mean we still breathe, but maybe not always with Ujjayi. And then from here, I'm going to take my hands under my shoulders and I'm going to come up and we're going to prepare for puppy pose. So different ways to do puppy, and I'll show you a couple things when we get there. So some people are going to do puppy either forearms on blocks. So you'll have a forearm on each block here. If going too deep is not for you, or on the floor. Hips stay over the knees, and then you'll shine your heart forward here. Okay. So for some people, that might be your puppy. Other people need support under the chest. Maybe you choose to do that with a block. Maybe you want something a little bit thicker, but a little bit softer. So you fold a folded blanket in half to give you that support under the chest. No worries about that. And then others are going to come into the full puppy here. So from here, hips over the knees. I'm going to come onto my forearms to get myself set up. Good. Now I'm going to take it forward. I'm going to shine my heart forward. So my chest is coming onto my prop through the floor. If you don't have cervical issues, the neck issues, you can take your chin down. If that's not good for your neck, take your forehead to the floor or to a block. And we breathe here and the belly button is in. So we always, in a back bend, keep the front body engaged so we can do that safely. And we never want to come so deep that we're crunching the back. And usually that's in the low spine, but not necessarily always. Good. From here, if you took your chin down, take your forehead back down, one hand at a time, coming under the shoulders, and then press yourself up out of there. Find a little child's pose. Let's counter that deep extension with a little bit of flexion here. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, we're going to come back forward and we're going to prepare for downward facing dog. So 5 foot and taller, take a half a hand's width or full hand's width forward. We'll tuck the toes. We'll lift and we'll shift. I'm pressing my hands in and forward into my mat. My fingers are spread wide. I'm rooting through knuckles of pinky, pointer, and thumb. Elbows are slightly turned in, shoulders in their pockets. My head and neck are free. I'm looking down at my feet. I want my hip bones, knees, ankles, and toes to be in alignment, and I'm pressing evenly into big toe and pinky toe mounds. Keep a little bend if you're tight in the back body. Otherwise, you can start to lengthen and pit and bend. You can walk your dog, bending one knee, lengthening the other leg. You can come high on the toes and drop the heels. You can be in stillness. Find what works best for your body in this moment. Belly button is in and we're still breathing. Good. From here, find some stillness if you took some movement. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk or step your feet forward to meet your hands. Comes to the floor, or blocks rather, if you can't touch the floor. Inhale, we'll lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. And from here, we're just going to go into a dangle. So just a little bit of a bend in the knees. If you can't touch the floor, you can come to blocks or come to opposite elbows here. Just let the head and neck be free. And kind of like a gorilla pose without putting the hands under the feet. And then from here, when you're ready, we'll inhale, lift and lengthen halfway, flat spine. Exhale and we'll bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding your breath, your mountain, your intention. Okay, inhale. Exhale and we'll fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. From this bow, step back to your plank pose. Hold your plank, knees up or down. If you're lifted, press back through the heels. Be strong through that upper body. Press it away. A little bit more pressure into the pointer and the thumb. And then from here, those of you with more experience can shift forward slightly. Elbows will bend. Try not to collapse as you come to the belly. Others will follow me. Knees down first. Come all the way down. Good. And we'll wiggle, wiggle, wiggle here. Good. So I'm going to change my cueing a little bit here from the way that I normally cue this one. And if this new cue helps your low back in the future for these, then feel free to keep using it. But I'm going to take my hands a little bit forward. Good. I'm making sure my legs are not together here. So I've got space at least hip width apart. And my belly button is in. From here, I'm just going to lift up into a baby cobra. Careful not to crunch. And we'll lower. Good. Inhale, belly button in. Maybe you take a baby cobra. Maybe you come up a little higher. Watch your shoulders, watch your back, and lower. Good. Belly button is in. Maybe you find a baby cobra, medium cobra, or a high cobra here. And we'll lower. Good. From here, we'll take the hands back by the hips. Palms can be up or down. It's going to be personal preference. And then you're going to choose to lift just the upper body, the lower body, or upper and lower together. So from here, belly button is in. Good. Find your locust variation. And we'll come down. Hands under the shoulders. Tuck the toes. Stronger, more experienced yogis can push up in a plank, shift back down dog. Everyone else, follow me through tabletop. Lifting the knees, finding your downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and we'll bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath, mountain intention. 3 quick sun salute A's here. You choose to take or skip the flow, and if you're flowing, you can take any back bend of your choice that will work for you. Inhale, exhale, and we'll bow. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and we'll fold. Inhale, plant the hands, step or hop back to plank pose. You choose, take or skip the flow. Follow me for a modification of the flow if you need that, and then find your down dog. From downward facing dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and we'll bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Number 2, inhale and lift. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and we'll bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank pose. You choose, take or skip a flow. Watch that shoulder stability. Finding down dog. From your down dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and we'll fold. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Last one, inhale and lift. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and we'll bow. Inhale, plant the hands, step or hop back to plank pose. You choose, take or skip your flow. Good, find your good breath. While we're here in this downward facing dog, we're going to open the hip just a little bit here. So right leg's going to lift 3 point, bending that knee. I'm going to open to the right, strong, even upper body, and close center. Open to the right, close center. One more time. Open to the right. You can choose to keep moving the open and close. You can hold it right here. You can flip over to that wild thing if it's in your practice. Strong, even upper body, if this is where you're going to be. Your upper body will be strong. It will not be even if you flipped over into wild thing. And then from here, when you're ready, based on where you went, find your way back to your downward facing dog. And maybe walk the dog a moment. Good. Going on the other side. Left leg lifts 3 point, bending that knee. Open to the left, close center. Open to the left, close center. One more time. open to the left. You choose. Keep opening and closing. You can hold right here. You can flip over into that wild thing. Remember, you can make wild thing less scary by coming down on your left knee, rolling over to the left side, picking yourself up. And then from here, when you're ready, in the way that's best for you, based on where you went, find your downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, mountain, intention. From here, more advanced people are free to step the feet and legs closer together or together. I am going to stay hip width apart. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, sit back into your chair pose. Those of you that want something a little bit deeper can come into skier. So skier, trying to get the thighs, the femur bone, parallel to the floor. Heels are grounded. So practice where you need to practice. Be mindful of your knees. Be mindful of your heels. And we're breathing. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Get into the feet. Get into the glutes. Zip up through that front body. Arms are going to touch. We'll find a standing back bend here. Ears and biceps meet each other. Inhale. Exhale. Take that all the way through to a fold. Inhale. Lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and bow. Don't be afraid to bring a block or two in here for support as you step back. We're going to step back with the right foot. Warrior prep that right foot. Heel to arch, or a little bit wider. Be stable before you rise. Get into the back edge of the back foot. Get into that front heel. Arms are going to lift. Front hip's going to come back. Think about hip, knee, and toe of this leg facing forward. Good. So from here, we're going to take this into a little flow. Zip up through that front body. Back stays long. And we're going to come forward. Good. We'll come up. We'll open into the back bend. And we'll reach and lengthen. We'll come up. We'll open into the back bend. Be strong in those feet. Last time here. We'll come up and we'll open into the back bend. Now you can stay here in this back bend, or maybe you want to reach behind you, clasp the hands, pressing down, opening up. And when you're ready, we'll release. We'll take that back up. Plant the hands. Take your path to the mat. Swivel up the back foot. Front foot steps back. You choose. Take or skip a flow. From the down dog, when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and we'll bow. From this bow, we're going to step the left foot back now. Good. Finding that up runner. Warrior prep the back foot. Find the alignment that's appropriate for you on the side, and it might not be exactly the same. Be strong and stable before you rise. Front hip will come back, back hip will come forward. Good. Here we go again with that nice little flow. You're technically in a back bend here, even though we're standing up. Inhale. Exhale, taking it back. And we'll come up, and we'll open. And we'll reach. And we'll come up, and we'll open. And one more time. And reach. Good. And open. You can choose to stay on this open, or once again, you can find that little bind. Maybe a little lift. And preparing shoulders for deeper work. And then from here, when you're ready, carefully release, reach. Take that path back to the mat. Plant the hands, front foot steps back. You choose. Take or skip a flow. I'm going to skip this one and just hang out in down dog. I'll give you some time. Good. From downward facing dog, when you're ready, shift forward into your plank, drop the knees. Good. Walk your hands a little bit more forward, come back to the belly. We're going to come back into a locust series here. I'm just going to make sure that my blocks are out of the way. Good. Hands back by the hips, palms turn up or turn down. Belly button is in. This time we're just going to lift the upper. And we'll lower. Belly button in. Lengthen just a little bit for the lower body lift. And we'll lift. Careful not to squeeze your glutes too much. And lower. Belly button is in. Upper and lower together. And if it's safe for you, if you can reach, you can bind here. If you're like me and not quite, maybe you bring in your strap. And then maybe find that leverage. And we'll lower that back down. Good. We're going to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle a little bit here. Good. Find your hands under your shoulders. You can push up into plank or move back through tabletop. Find your downward facing dog. And then when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and all back. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, mountain, intention. What could you open your heart a little bit more to today? Good. All right, so we're going to do another little pattern here. I'm going to bring my blocks in on this one. You might not need yours. And then from here, when we're ready, inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, when we bow. From here, step your right foot back. You're going to come into that left up runner. Knee is over behind the ankle. And I'm just going to rock back and forth here for a moment. Good. From here, when you're ready, my back heel is not grounded, even though I'm pressing back through that heel. Hands can be on blocks or the floor. And I'm going to lengthen this front leg as I lengthen my torso. My front hip comes back hip comes forward. My front knee is not locked, so it's a little bit soft. If it's safe for you to fold in deeper, you can. If not, no worries. Don't go there. And then from here, if you took the deeper fold, you'll come out of your fold and you'll lengthen. Looking down at that front foot, we'll put a bend in the front knee over behind the ankle. From here, you're going to choose. You might choose to come down onto the back knee. You might choose to stay lifted for lifted crescent. That's a little bit more power, a little bit more balance. So find where you need your practice, and everything that we do here can be done lifted or grounded. It has no impact. But from here, I'm just going to reach up for a moment. I'm going to take my arms forward. Gaze is going to come to the right hand. Gaze will stay on the right hand as I open to the right. Gaze stays with that right hand as I come back to center. Arms are going to come up. From here, left hand's going to take the right wrist. I'm going to lift. I'm going to side bend to the left. Breathe and expand. Good. Coming back up, you have options, lifted or grounded knee. Some of you are going to choose to hinge forward, finding a prayer twist here. Others are going to follow me. A hand can come onto the block or to the floor and twisting to the left. Back knee can be lifted or grounded. That has nothing to do with your twist. Good. Inhale. Exhale. We'll come out of there. Framing that front foot, lift the back knee if you had it grounded. Front foot's going to step back. You choose, take or skip your flow. I'm going to skip this one. So always reconnect with good down dog form. Shoulders in their pockets, elbows slightly turned in, head and neck are free. You're pressing in and forward to the mat with your hands, maybe a little bit of a micro bend in the knee. From here, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale when we bow. From here, I'm going to lift and lengthen just a little bit here. I'm going to bring my blocks back in. We're going to do that same series on the other side. So now I'm going to step the left foot back, finding my right up runner. I'm just going to rock a little bit. Good. And then from here, with or without your blocks, I'm going to lengthen that front leg. As I do so, I'm lengthening my torso. I'm pressing back through the back heel. Back heel is not grounded. Front knee is not locked. If it's safe for you to fold in deeper, you can. Your body will let you know because your hamstring will scream at you if it doesn't want to do that. So stretching is okay. Pain, numbness, tingling, burning or not. And then from here, when you're ready, looking at that front foot, we'll put a bend in that front knee. This is where you determine your path, and your path on this side might not be the same as the other side. Do you ground that back knee? Do you keep it lifted for more power and balance? Find your crescent here. Good, my back foot's a little bit too far back. Good, find your crescent here. Belly button is in. Arms are gonna come in front of you. Gaze is gonna come to the left hand. It'll stay with the left hand as you open and turn to the left. Inhale, exhale, stay with that hand as you come back to center. Reach. This time, right hand's gonna come to the left wrist, lift. Get a side bend towards the right. Breathe and expand. Settle back into that back ankle if you can. I caught myself. Good. And then from here, we'll release and come back in. Lifted knee or grounded knee, you choose. Are you going to come forward into a prayer twist? Are you going to take the left hand to a block or to the floor, twisting to the right? Remember, back knee can be lifted or grounded, has nothing to do with your twisting ability. Good. Inhale, exhale, you will come down out of there. Plant that hand, front foot steps back. You choose, take or skip a flow. Good. Now, from your downward facing dog, when you're ready. Good. We're going to drop the knees. We're going to walk it forward, coming down onto the belly. Good. And from here, we're going to go into some frog and half frog work. So different things for different people. I'm just going to kind of move this out of the way. Good. I'm going to start by putting a bend in the right knee. Be mindful of your knees here because this can be really deep flexion for some people. I'm going to reach my right arm around, grabbing that foot, ankle, or pants. Remember, pants is always an option. I'm going to take my left leg long in front of me. Good. My belly button is in. I'm going to squeeze the right side. So we're going to squeeze the right glute. Right foot's going to come straight up. Maybe you roll that right shoulder back a little bit. You can stay here. You can lift that left arm. Maybe you engage and take that left leg up in a hover. Good. And we'll lower. Carefully release, no slingshotting. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. We're going to take that to the other side. Now, if these binds here don't work for you, you can work on any locust variation here. So you're still getting that back bending practice. So now I'm going to bend the left knee. I'm going to reach back. I'm going to grab foot, ankle, pants. Good. My right arm is forward. I'm going to engage and squeeze the left glute, taking that left foot straight up towards the ceiling, rolling left ankle back. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you lift the upper. Maybe you lift lower. And then from here, we'll lower that back down with control. And we'll wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Now, you can come back and practice one or two of those again. You can come back and do this kind of long locust here, or a dart, if you will. Those of you that have it and want it, maybe we bend both knees. Take both hands back there. Good. Knees, you want to come in more towards the midline, the center of the body, not the outside of your mat. Rolling shoulders back. And for some of us, this might be the extent of what you do today. But my belly button is going to be in. I'm squeezing my glutes. I'm taking my feet straight up towards the ceiling. I'm not thinking about pressing hands and feet into each other with all their might. Just think about the glutes and think about the lift. Good. And then maybe you can press that belly in and find a rock. Not everybody's meant to rock. And then from here, when you're ready, carefully settle that back down. Carefully release with control, no slingshotting. Give yourself a wiggle, wiggle. Hands under the shoulders. Press back, child's pose. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, move forward, find your downward facing dog. Good. So again, check in with good form. From your downward facing dog, when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, move out. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath, your mountain intention. So hopefully by now, with all the back bends that we've done, you're starting to notice some energetic changes here for the good and not for the bad. But from here, before we take it down to the floor and stay down there, let's do one leg standing balance. And we're going to keep this nice and simple. We're just standing on one leg. That's all we're going to do. So if you need to come to a wall, sturdy piece of furniture, what have you, go ahead and do that. We'll start on the left leg first. Hip, knee, and toe track forward. Knee is going to be soft. Good. And maybe we just pick up the right foot a little bit. So the higher you go, the harder it is, the more core you have to have online. But we don't take this higher if we're unstable when we're lower and we're trying to find the balance. So only take it higher when you're stable. Trying to go to more advanced positioning when you're not stable in the starting position puts you at risk for injury and falls. And while we all fall sometimes in yoga, if we can avoid it, like something like this, then we should try that. And then from here, when we're ready, we'll bring that back in. We'll try that all on the other side. So now right leg, hip, knee, and toe are going to track forward. Softness in that right knee. Good. Zip up through the front body. Hands and arms can be anywhere you want to be. Find stability first before you take it higher. Pressing in the big toe and pinky toe mounds, pressing into the hip. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll take that down and just wiggle, wiggle here. Good. Okay. We're going to flow this down. Have your blocks handy. Start having them handy. Start having your strap handy. Have your blanket handy if you're going to use knee cushion. So from here, big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, move out. Inhale, step or hop back to plank. You choose. Take or skip a flow here. Good. And then once you've made it to your down dog, once more, we're going to drop the knees, find a child's pose. Knees can be together as wide as the mat. Arms can be long in front of you. Hands can be back by the ankles. Good. So reconnect with breath. Reconnect with your intention. Good. And then from here, I'm going to come up out of here. And you can move right forward onto your belly. Now, for camera purposes, I'm going to kind of shift myself here and take my head towards the camera. We're going to not do the full Ikabuja series, but we're going to do one so we can get a little bit deeper into the shoulder. And you'll see why when we come into some things here in a moment. My legs will not be long because of the wall behind me, but feel free to take yours long here. Good. So I'm going to start by taking my right arm straight out to the right from the shoulder. Once there, I'm going to walk my fingertips up to where my fingers are in line with my eyeballs. My left hand, I'm going to roll over. So you're rolling towards the side of your outstretched arm. If you don't, you'll wonder why we're doing this pose here. So this is to kind of open the shoulder a little bit here. Now, different people can go different places. Some people can roll all the way back and do the spine. I'm not one of those people, but always be mindful. Pain, numbness, tingling, burning, anywhere, not normal. So if you feel those, please back off until you don't. And then when you're ready, we'll release from there, come back onto the belly. Good. Get your wax on, wax off rotation in one direction, and then in the other. And then from here, we're going to take that to the other side now. So now the left arm's going to come straight out from the shoulder, walking those left fingertips up right in line with the eyeball. Your other hand's going to assist you as you roll to the left. And you might roll more or less on one side than the other. That's normal. You have a tighter side. You have a not so tighter side, or sometimes you're like me and you're just tight everywhere. We never know until we get moving. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, we'll release out of there, come back onto the belly. Good. And get those little rotations in opposite direction. Good. In the way that's best for you, carefully find yourself in a seat. Good. Now we're going to prepare here for reverse table or reverse plank. Some of you will only do reverse table today because reverse plank is not part of your practice, and that's okay. I'm going to have a couple not blankets, but blocks here to give you a different option in a moment. But to set up for reverse table, your hands are going to come behind you, and you'll see in pictures fingers going straight towards the feet. And you can do that, but that doesn't feel good to everybody's shoulders and elbows. So if you're kind of like me and that doesn't feel good to you, it's okay if from the shoulder, you want to rotate from the shoulder, not from the elbow, if you take those fingertips a little bit out to the side. So practice where it feels good to you. And then from here, maybe lift. Shoulders are over the wrist or a little bit in front. They don't go back here. Okay, so that's reverse table. Reverse plank, legs are long. It's harder if legs are together, but it can be done. And then you have your reverse plank. Okay, some people need help with the lift. And if that's you, you can bring your blocks in here. Make sure your blocks are even if you're going to use this one. I will also give you the notice that the blocks can sometimes be harder on the wrist. So be mindful of that as well. You can have the whole hand on or just the meaty part. You choose where you need your support. And then from there, everything else is the same. So reverse table or reverse plank. Good. Now that you know where we're going, find yours. And if you've already done some, that's okay. You can do another one. Breathe wherever it is that you're going. And then from here, carefully come out of the one that you chose. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, find a forward fold. Maybe you need to roll the wrist out a little bit here in this forward fold. Okay. And then from here, when you're ready, we'll come up. I'm going to move these blocks out of the way. Have at least one handy if you think that a supported bridge is in your future. But speaking of bridges, that's where we're going next. So if you want to do that under the hip bind with the hands, but you can't quite reach or do that comfortably, have your strap handy for that one. Otherwise, we're going to come onto our backs here. We're all going to start with a basic. We're going to do 3 bridges total. So once you get here, good. Just kind of find your nice positioning. Sometimes it just feels good to wiggle once you get down here. So hips, knees, and toes are going to track. Heels are grounded. They're not too close into the glutes and they're not too far away. Arms are going to be long by your side. Roll your shoulders under slightly here. Good. Belly button is in. If you can, Rock the pelvis back with me and peel up one vertebrae at a time. If not, just lift the hips towards the ceiling. So whenever you're ready, inhale, exhale, lift towards the ceiling or rock it back, peeling up one vertebrae at a time. Your body will let you know when you should not come up any higher in this bridge. And then from here, we'll gently lower back down. Good. Now, if you like that bridge, you want to do that again, you can. If you want to do the arm bind, hand bind rather with me, you can. And if you want to use your strap here, just take that strap underneath so it's there when you need it. And I'm actually going to have my hands underneath here because I'm using my strap. So everyone will roll their shoulders under just a little bit more here. Inhale, exhale, pressing into the feet. Find your bridge. Maybe roll the shoulders under again. Maybe grabbing hands, maybe grabbing a strap. You're going to reach towards the heel. So the chest is going to open up just a little bit deeper here. Hips and knees stay in alignment. Knees don't fall in or fall out. And then from here, release hands or release the strap, carefully lower down. If you need to take a real quick knees into the chest, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, final back bend here can be either one that we did. If you want to take a gentler one, you can bring that block in here for supported bridge. Or if a full back bend is in your practice, you can come there. Remember, wherever you're going, hips, knees, and toes track parallel in alignment. We don't take the legs out wider. We don't do this external rotation stuff. So practice in good form. You cannot improve your form if you do not try to practice in good form. So practice in good form. I'm going to do full back bend. So you choose your back bend. Inhale, exhale. Take that now. And then from here, wherever you took your back bends, carefully come out. So people will come out differently based on where you went. And if you did the full back bend with me, watch your head. You don't want to come crashing down there. And we'll take the knees back into the chest. Good. We're going to prepare for camel now. So some of you are going to roll over to your side, come to a seat. Others are going to maybe cross at the ankles. Find a few fun little rolls here as you roll all the way up to the seat and maybe to your knees. So I like knee cushion on my camel because we're going to be on our knees for this one. So I'm going to bring my blanket back in here. Some people cannot take their hands back and reach their heels or their ankles. And if you're one of those people, I'll show you how to do that with a block. But if you're going to do this on both sides, you'll want a block on each side. I'm just going to move this out of the way here so you can see different things. Good. So just like in puppy pose, just like in thread the needle, there's a reason why we did those two. Hips stay over the knees. Most people fail here because their hips are behind the knees. Engage your front body, squeeze your glutes a little bit, take it forward. Tops of the feet can be down. I like to take my heels up so I don't have to reach as deep. Rolling shoulders back. Some of you are going to have your hips right here and just shine the heart forward. Some of you are going to slide that down. Maybe you do a half camel and then come up and switch sides. Good. And then come up. Maybe you do that with a block. So if you're using a block, you don't want to get your block tangled up in your blanket. So kind of make that adjustment here, but that's where you would have your block right in front of your ankle. And then if you're going to do half camel, you can come back here. And then same thing for full camel, having one on each side. Now full camel, I'm going to take my hips forward, take my toes up. Good. I'm going to carefully come back here. I like to grip at ankles. You'll see people gripping at the heels. It's wherever it is that makes you feel good. My hips are over my knees. I'm not shifting back. So there's reasons why we did shoulder openers. There's reasons why we did other back bends here first. And then from here, when you're ready, if you took your head back, nod your chin, carefully come up here, very carefully, child's pose. Countering deep extension with some nice flexion. And then from here, when you're ready, good. We're going to come up from here. We're going to have a seat. I'm just going to move my blanket out of the way here. Bring your strap in here. And we're going to come onto our backs. Make sure you've got room to move on both sides of your space. Okay. And again, if you want to roll the shoulders under a little bit, wiggle, 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 because it feels good, just do that. Always do what feels good. And then I'm going to take my strap. And we're going to do this one slightly differently today. So I'm going to take my right foot in the strap rather in the center part of my right foot. You can have a bend in the left knee, or if your back is okay with it, you can take that leg long. So I've got both straps in my right hand and I'm letting everything settle in. And I'm just going to get a couple little controlled leg circles here. I'm just kind of rolling around in that socket. My core is working to keep both hips grounded. They don't leave the floor. Let's take that in the opposite direction. So you should feel this right below the belly button here. Good. And then from here, good, I'm just going to choke up on my grip. Good. From here, leg is up towards the ceiling. Take your leg out no wider than the width of your shoulder. From here, pull in towards that shoulder. Keep a little softness in your knee. So we're still doing a hamstring stretch here. It's just a little bit different. Good. And we'll release. We'll take that back to center. Rotating from the hip, knee, and toes are going to turn out away from the body. Good. And we'll take that out to the side. Both hips stay grounded. You can take this out as wide as you're able, as long as hips are grounded. You can tug in towards that right shoulder for something special. And then from here, we'll bring that back in. Toes, knees, and hips face the ceiling. Face the face. There, the leg is up towards the ceiling. Good. Release the strap. Cross that right ankle over the left knee. Bring that in for figure four. And then rock, rock, rock side to side here, if that's okay for you. And then when you're ready, keep your ankle where it is. Take that left foot down. Now, just so that I have a little bit more space, I'm just going to shift to the side here. You can take your arms where you want to take them. We're going to do a figure four twist. So we're going to let those legs fall over towards the left here. And so you'll feel that little psoas muscle stretch here, which is what I want to achieve with this twist. If this twist is not good for you, just undo the legs and find a twist that is good for you. Breathe and expand through the rib cage. Good, and then from here, if you need to undo the legs first, you can undo the legs first. Otherwise, keep it together as a single unit. Carefully undo, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Grab that strap, other side. I'm going to take that strap around the left foot now. Good. Your right knee can be bent or extended long. The straps are on the left hand. We're going to go into that little circle here. Belly button stays in. We're controlling the hips with the abs. And then maybe reverse that direction. The bigger the circle, the harder it is. This is an FYI. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, good. I'm going to choke up a little bit here. This leg is going to come out only as wide as the width of my shoulder, and then I'm going to pull it in towards the shoulder, keeping this knee a little soft. Good, and then we'll release. We'll come back center from the hip, left knee, left toes, turn out away from the body. We'll take that leg out to the left. You can hang out there or you can tug in towards the shoulder. Both hips stay grounded. And when you're ready, we'll bring that leg back in. Hip, knee, and toe come back towards the face. Release that strap. Cross that left ankle over the right knee. Bring it in for figure 4 on this side. And we'll rock, rock, rock. Okay. From here, keep everything together. Foot comes down. Take your arms where it's comfortable. Big inhale, exhale. Take that twist, figure 4 twist to the right. Breathe and expand into the back body. Just like the other side, if this twist doesn't work for you, come out of here and find one that does. And then when you're ready, we'll carefully bring that back in. Good. And remove that foot. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle side to side. Taking knees into the chest. Good. Short Shavasana here. I'm going to recommend because it's short. No props, but you're always free to hit pause if you're watching this later and bring those in. So legs can be long. You can flop everything open. You can put a bend in the knees. Find what works best for you. Make yourself about 10% more comfortable. And I will leave you right here. Taking some deep breaths here. Choose stillness or gently take head and neck from side to side. Choose stillness or invite movement of fingers and toes, maybe running thumbs along the edges of the fingertips. Choosing stillness or bringing knees into your chest. Choosing to keep the upper body grounded or maybe lifted for a full body hug. Don't forget to tuck the chin if you're going into the lift. And then from here, when you're ready, removing any props if you brought any in, taking legs long in front of you, arms long behind you and reach and lengthen, long full body stretch, point and flex the feet, bend and stretch the hands, rolling wrists and ankles in one direction and then in the other. And then from here, whenever you're ready, carefully bending in those knees and you choose rolling over to the right or left side, the side that works best for your body. Taking a pause here and resting for as long as you need. Okay. Carefully come back up to a comfortable seat. And once you find your comfortable seat, find a little bit of length because you think about ears, shoulders, and hips once more being in alignment. Noticing how you feel now versus when we started. Palms towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach, 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 and lengthen, touching palms together. Exhale, hands in the heart center. Reconnecting with that intention you made for yourself. What could I be more open-hearted to today? And taking thumbs to the forehead for good and true thoughts. To our lips for good and kind words. And to our hearts for open and loving hearts. Knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted. No gain is ever reversed. May you be safe. May you stay well. You have a wonderful day and week ahead. Namaste.